Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our daily pitching preview that we do with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Right now, we're going to take a look at the card for Saturday, May 2nd. Joe Duffy, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you for having me, Peter.
Joe Duffy, you're winning in baseball this year, right, Joe? Tell us about that.
You got that right. I've been winning in baseball for about 28 years publicly and longer than that privately. You know, maybe during the steroid era wasn't necessarily the best time. There are specific reasons for that. If people want to email me at the site, I'll tell them the specific reasons why the end of the steroid era means the strength goes back to the Sharpies, the advantage back to the Sharpies. Another great year, mostly underdogs.
All right, Joe. Well, here's a game and a pitching matchup that I might recommend that you recommend to your clients on Saturday. We'll see if you agree with it. If you wind up doing it, Mike Fiers and Jake Arrieta, Milwaukee against the Cubs. In these shows, I've been saying that from the opening week, I was looking to fade Fiers. His velocity's down. He's not really getting it done, and that has proven to be a profitable thing to do. Milwaukee, of course, we know the deal with them. Great team to bet against so far, and at least in the near future, probably will continue to be. Arrieta, excellent, solid, reliable. The Cubs have those live bats. I love to fade Fiers, and going up against a pitcher like Arrieta, against a team like the Cubs, I'll do it again. What do you think? And
Fiers, he has a terrible whip. He has almost twice as many hits and walks, 36, as he does innings pitched, 18 2/3. And Arrieta, he's pitched well at Wrigley Field, and he's also pitched pretty well against the Brewers, 2.59 ERA in 4 starts in his career against Milwaukee. So there's no question that Chicago has the big pitching advantage there. And at Wrigley Field, he's got a 1.9 ERA so far. So, yeah, clearly the pitching advantage for the home team there.
So you think that might wind up being a recommended play for your clients on Saturday, even though it will be a pretty decent favorite line that you're going to have to take?
It's one of those that maybe you want to take a look at the run line, that Chicago should probably win this one by multiple runs.
All right, then let me ask you about Corey Kluber. He's starting at home for Cleveland. He's going to be against Toronto. Aaron Sanchez on the other side, a guy we've discussed, a guy with big potential, but who's not getting it done. He's having a lot of control problems. His peripherals are bad, so fading Sanchez is something that I'd be interested in doing in general right now. Question is, what's wrong with Kluber? His strikeout and walk numbers aren't that bad, though. 36 strikeouts in 34 innings, only 7 walks and 2 home runs, but he hasn't gotten the results yet. Toronto does have a lineup that can be productive. We know about that. Again, though, going up against Sanchez, I'd love to fade him. Do we think this is like kind of anomalous, the results, early season results that Kluber's been having? What do you think, Joe?
As a general rule of thumb, when you go against Cy Young Award pitchers early in the next season, you're usually going to have good results. And Kluber is coming off an absolutely phenomenal year, so it's no surprise that he's a little bit overvalued coming into this year. And it's not like he's got, a track record that goes back years and years and years. So I think he's a perfect fade pitcher as far as value is concerned. And, because we're talking about a guy that you're always going to get a good line going against when he's the defending Cy Young Award winner. So I think that's basically what's wrong with him. It's very tough to follow up a career year like Kluber had. It's almost that simple.
All right, but he's still getting strikeouts. A lot of his stats are still looking pretty good. You don't think that maybe, the results so far this year have been a little bit anomalous? It'd be one thing if he was like having control problems, walking a lot of guys, and you'd want to jump on him and jump on the fade bandwagon. But you don't expect a bounce back from him. Again, his periffs, he's only getting up 2 home runs in 34 innings. It's not like he's getting crushed really in that regard.
No, if I still played rotisserie baseball, I'm not saying that I wouldn't want him long term, but as I said, short term, when guys are coming off a career year, sometimes they will settle down. And, he might be the best pitcher in baseball in another month. But right now, at this moment, I still say you're going to get pretty good value going against him. But no, am I predicting that he's going to be a bust? No, absolutely not.
All right, interesting analysis, Joe Duffy. Well, I might be looking to go against to bet on him here, if only because Sanchez is someone who I don't mind going against anyway. Chris Archer, though, been really, really impressive, right? He's going to face Baltimore. It's technically a home game for Baltimore, but it will be played in Tampa Bay. And he's held down some good lineups very recently. He held down Toronto twice. He held down Boston at home in his last game. He did open the season with a start at home against Baltimore, and he got hit a little bit, but in general, he's been pretty dominant and against decent lineups. Do we expect another excellent dominant start from Archer here?
26 2/3 innings pitched without giving up an earned run. I don't know if there's you want to really overanalyze that. Just ride it. He is in a zone, and I'm a big believer 90% of the game is half mental. He's just simply in that zone. It would take a lot of balls to go against him at this point.
And then Taijuan Walker against Colin McHugh. Now, we know that I think Houston is now officially the most profitable team in baseball so far on the year. They're getting it done in all ways, and Colin McHugh very reliable as a starting pitcher. Taijuan Walker, ton of potential. Shaky starts earlier in the year, but he's coming off of an excellent one on the road at Texas. The question is that a sign that Taijuan Walker is about to embark on a decent run of good starts, or is he more likely to regress here, and once again, we might have value with Houston? What do you think is more likely, Joe?
Well, speaking of 90% of the game is half mental, Walker's 3-0 with a 2.57 ERA and 5 starts of the Astros, yet he's 1-5, 4.73 against the rest of Major League Baseball. So this just seems to be one team who he has their number, and maybe it's mental, maybe he just matches up so well against their bats. But McHugh, he's another one of these guys who quietly, going back to last year, he's just continuing to pitch well, 10-0 with a 2.08 ERA and 14 starts since August 1st. So maybe the under would be the play here. Both of these guys seem to be in pretty good spots.
Well, that's all I really wanted to get to. To sum up, I'm definitely going to be looking to bet on Arrieta and the Cubs. I also think that Corey Kluber might have a bounce-back start, although Joe Duffy's not convinced of that. We both kind of think that there's no reason to expect Chris Archer to not be impressive again against Baltimore. And Taijuan Walker, Colin McHugh, interesting. Either if Walker has a good start, look at the under. If we expect Walker to have a bad start, look at Houston. That's it for me for Saturday, May 2nd. Joe Duffy, what else do you want to bring up that you think is interesting?
I always have the mental check marks, and for years I've done very well fading quality pitchers on bad teams, and Cole Hamels was probably the poster child of that. So he is pitching on the road against Miami, and the Rangers, Nick Martinez, you want to talk about riding a guy while he's sizzling hot, 0.35 ERA and 26 innings pitched. So that would be about it.
Okay, thanks so much, Joe.